Sacred Hymns. This is Jarrett's interpretation of the music of George Ivanovich Gurdjieff. He was a mystic, philosopher and spiritual advisor from the 19th century. There's not a lot of excitement going on here. It's pretty quiet, somber. Again, it's a bit of an oddity and not one you're going to be reaching for very often. Celestial Hawk. This is another score by Keith Jarrett for orchestra, percussion and piano. It was recorded in 1980 at Carnegie Hall, New York. It's got some nice things going on here. Keith actually plays the piano himself on it. It's a little bit deliberate and a little bit flowery, and it never seems to take off fully. Evocations, The Moth and the Flame. This is quite a strange package. It's actually two different sessions rolled into one album. The first is baroque organ and soprano saxophone improvisations. The second is piano improvisations recorded in the studio, and it's a bit of a mixed bag but some nice things on it. Keith Jarrett, Ritual. Dennis Russell Davies, piano. This was written by Keith in 1977 and recorded by ECM with Dennis Russell Davies on piano. Keith does not play on it, so the music lacks his magic touch. It's unmistakably Keith's music, but it's an oddity. It has only been released on CD recently. Concerts. Bregenz München. This was originally released on a single CD back in 1982, but in 2013 the Munich concert was added, and that is 2 extra CDs. This is nice, great playing on it and plenty food and drink for fans. This is the original single disc version from 1982, which just has the Bregenz concert. Part 1 is pretty good. It's kind of country folk, quite jaunty, and yeah, it's one of his better solo piano offerings from the 80s, without a doubt. There's a lot of direction here going on. It's a good album. Keith Jarrett, Gary Peacock, Jacques DeJohnette, Standards Volume 1. The trio got together in early 1983 and recorded a load of sessions, standards from the American Songbook, and thus was born the Keith Jarrett Trio, which have been very successful over the last 35 years. Changes. This is an improvised album that came out of those sessions. Again, there's 2 long pieces on the album: Flying Part 1, Flying Part 2, and Prism, which is an older Jarrett piece from the late 70s. Playing here is fantastic. There's great telepathy between the members of the trio, and it is very enjoyable acoustic jazz. Standards Volume 2, this was released after, so again, this is the better of the 2 standards albums. So Tender is a Jarrett original, and this is superb and essential jazz for anybody remotely interested in trio jazz. In 2008 it was released as a box set, so it was renamed Setting Standards New York Sessions. It was remastered, and as you can see, it's all under one roof now. There's a booklet with extended liner notes and some interesting photographs from the original sessions in January 1983. Works. This is a compilation from ECM. It's a bit bizarre. Came out in 1985. It's got two pieces from my song. It's got more solo stuff in there, but it's all selected from the albums. It's about 40 minutes. It's quite short. They could have filled up the disc with more stuff, but again, it was probably released on vinyl originally. Spheres. This was the 1985 chopped up salami of the Hymns Spheres album. There's 4 movements here, all spheres, and there's no hymns. It has now been made redundant by the 2 CD edition, which gives you the complete album in its digital glory. Standards Live. This was released in 1986. It is from a concert in the summer of 1985 in Paris. This is a fantastic album, probably one of my favourite Keith Jarrett trio albums. The Material, Stella by Starlight, The Wrong Blues is exceptional. It's an essential album for anybody into jazz, and I suggest you run out and buy it immediately. Spirits. This is another oddity. It was recorded in 1985 on 4-track cassette recorders or something like that in his own Cave Light studio at home. There's some nice stuff on here, but it's a bit long-winded. The sound quality is not great for ECM especially, and it's, you know, he plays everything but the kitchen sink, and it's one for rainy days.